Hi, this is Bob Perkins with Inside Sales Studio. Thanks for viewing this video. I want to talk to you about handling objections. In fact, I'm going to present a very simple three-step process on how to handle pretty much any objection. The first step is called empathy. You want to empathize with whatever the objection is. For example, if somebody says, our current provider is doing a pretty good job for us, and so I don't really need to look at anything else. You might want to say, I totally understand that, or no, that makes sense, or I hear you, right? Just empathize with whatever the objection is to sort of drop down any type of friction between the conversation. Step number 2 is called use peer voice. So what I mean by that is let's talk about the same objection where someone says, we're all set. With our current supplier, it's working out pretty good. Peer voice would sound something like this. The empathy part, I understand that makes sense. I'm talking with some other directors of sales that do have a role similar to yours. And what they have told me, and then you want to fill in the blank, and I'll use something we call an alternative solution, right? And it says, I understand what you're talking about. When I talk to some other sales directors like you that are happy with a certain supplier, they tell me it's helpful to look at a second option or to look at a second vendor option so that if anything tends to go wrong, they at least have looked at to see what else is out there, okay? Again, that's called using peer voice. Then the third step is really what I call an alternative ask. You're going to ask again right after using that peer voice, something like, so, given that situation, you think we can get on your calendar next week for a 30-minute demo, right? So put these three together, empathize, use peer voice, right? It's not me trying to, compete with this objection. And the third step is the alternative ask. Again, empathize, use peer voice, the alternative ask. So if you're in a conversation and it's going where somebody says, we're all set now, I don't need to see your solution, I don't need to schedule a demo with you because we're pretty happy with our supplier. It goes something like this, I totally get it. There's a lot of good suppliers out there and it's good that you're happy with them. I do speak with other sales directors though that they tell me that having just a second option, taking a look at a second vendor option is beneficial to them because just in case they have a need, they have at least a second backup option. What do you say we take a look at your calendar and see if we can set up a brief meeting next week? And you can use these three steps no matter what it is. Price objections, time objections, work on that peer voice piece so you have certain examples that you can bring up depending on what the objection is. I hope that helps. I hope it helps with your selling, and thanks for joining us today. This is Bob Perkins with Inside Sales Studio.